Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of I Am Legion for Dying Light 1 and 2. My name is Jason, the creator of the mod, and I wanted to release another video to showcase the latest features in 1.4D, and wanted to just do a quick summary for you guys, so let's go ahead and dive right in. So first and foremost, the main feature of this update is throwing weapons. So I was not able to, sadly, I'm still not able to take normal weapons and actually make it to where you can throw them. That's not really in the back end of the code that I can find, but what I did was actually double down and take a large amount of time to create throwing weapons as a new concept for the game. So I'm going to go ahead and so if you're seeing all these icons, it's because it's the Patreon content. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Patreon content to go ahead and load in the throwing weapons so that I can start to showcase what those look like. Now I have gone through the Patreon content and made several updates to the overall layout and some of the iconography so that it's a little bit easier to understand, along with some of the text. Sorry for the delay in getting that stuff updated, but hopefully this will allow you to see a little bit better as you're scrolling through. As you can see, all the different weapons are loading in. Altogether, I believe it's 19 different weapons, each with 3 different tiers. As you can see, quite a few different weapons in here. And then don't forget, you also now have the ability to add mods to these throwing weapons as well. So it's just something a little bit fun. Let's go ahead and grab a couple of different ones, and I'll show you guys what you can do. So you have a combination of hammers and also axes. So you have regular axes and then you have heavy axes. And we'll go ahead and grab one of those as well. I also released the latest of the lighting update, so I've still slowly been working on this lighting overhaul system, but I went ahead and released some of the new updates for that. So for those of you who have been a Patreon supporter, you're already aware of the glow sticks. So the glow sticks have already been in there, but what I did is added the additional capability for flares, and I actually really like these. And then lastly, as part of this latest update, we also have new weapon mods. So for these new weapon mods, these are to enhance all of your different weapons with durability. I know that's probably the #1 most requested thing that I hear is, to please increase the durability. And so I wanted to go ahead and add that. And just for safe measure, let's go ahead and grab our essential crafting kit so we can go and get some supplies so I can show you guys. So this will be played on the hardest version with Insanity. I hope you guys enjoy. And let's go ahead and arm some of these weapons. So how this appears is basically you now have these throwing weapons. So the purple are going to actually be your heavy weapons. And I did add a lot of details in the description that should help outline what is a normal hammer or axe and then what is a heavy axe. So let's go ahead and deck out some of these things. And kind of the idea here is I wanted to give us some different weapons that would allow us to move quick, especially when playing Insanity, and be able to hold off the enemies. So if you want to get a throwing weapon, you can pull up a throwing weapon as you run. And the thing that I like about these is that you actually end up with a lot of damage to their thanks to the new damage system. So this is actually a lot of fun as far as taking out legs and being able to actually inflict a lot of damage as you go. Let's switch over to, so that's the hammer. It's really meant to interrupt, and if you get a headshot, it's great for cracking skulls. So if you're up above your enemies and you want to try to rain down some damage on your enemies, it's great for doing that. Let's go ahead and switch to the throwing axes. So for the axes, the goal is to try to slice as much of the arms and legs as possible while moving. I have turned off auto aim for this, but you can turn that on through the config. So if you're a big fan of that automatic aim for the headshot, you know, that's built into the game, you can always turn that back on. But I like a little bit more challenge than that, so. And as you can see, it actually punches a good ways through there. The visuals are kind of weird. So sometimes when you pull up your axe in your hand, so like for example, I've got my throwing axe and then I turn on photo mode. Let's see what it does. Yeah, it doesn't show up. So the camera system doesn't always like it, but I actually was very happy with the results I was able to get with injecting these in. So then let's use my new weapon called the Zombie Reaper. And so this is actually a heavy axe. And this sucker will basically just plow right through enemies and also knock them a good ways. So it's meant to do a good amount of damage and force. And so if you're trying to cut legs off, if you're trying to inflict a lot of damage, you can use this to kind of punch your way through enemies. So it's great if you don't have a axe yet and you want to be able to do damage to your enemies. Or I apologize, a bow and arrow. So if we would just want to be able to clear these guys out, we can. I also should have grabbed the stone, so I'll actually circle back around as we go here, but why don't I go ahead and bring up the modification system. So if you want to go ahead and modify these weapons, you can. So you can go in here and add different customizations such as flame to the tip here. And then we'll go here and we'll take a look at the new modifications. So what I've done is I've started adding in realistic modifications. So on top of, you know, you have a lot of the elemental modifications, I'm starting to add kind of more realistic ones that are based on, you know, real world factors of the crafting materials that you find inside the game. So for example, if you want to slightly increase the durability, you can do something like leather binding. And I'm looking for all different ways that I can go through and start to add more realistic measures to the game. But the idea here is that you can go in here and increase durability. Now for throwing axes, that doesn't really make a big difference, but what you can do is you can go over to your normal weapons, and this will be a part of the shaft upgrade as well. So you can see here with the durability, you can start to apply those better durabilities to your weapons, and you'll start to see those gains for your weapons. Now there's also one already in the game that's in the grit part, but that is pretty much like a later tier upgrade. And so what I wanted to do is go ahead and give everybody the opportunity to upgrade their weapons earlier in the game so that they can keep those weapons that they're really enjoying and continue to play. So switching over, that's what the mods look like. Let's actually head back over towards the base here. And what I'm going to do is grab, is there actually a closer one? Where is this place? I think that actually might be down. It's down inside the subway. Yeah. Let me go grab this rock real quick. So I've got two different rocks and I wanted to show you guys just really quickly. So the two different rocks are important because you should start to find these throughout the world, and the idea is that as you start to find them, basically the idea is they actually didn't make it in. It's probably because everything is full. So apologize. Give me 1 second. Actually go ahead and drop some things really quick. Sorry they have to do this on the video here. Wasn't planning for that. Oh, no, well, I wanted to go tonight anyway. And that is why everybody cuts their videos together. But it's late. I wanted to get this video out to you guys really quickly, but it is definitely a late night dev night. So let's get this over to you guys really quick. And then for the throwing weapons. May have actually gotten pulled into another pack, and so I need to double check to make sure that I got into another pack. But the throwing weapons have also been increased by adding stones, so the stones can now be found inside the world as well. And the idea is that you have a small rock, and then you also have a heavy rock, and these are great for getting up above enemies and causing and inflicting damage down on your foes while staying up away from where they can get to you. So kind of a fun way to clear out an area while also distracting them if you need to get away. So let's go ahead and I'll show you guys. First, let's start with the glow sticks. For those of you who have seen these before, nothing new here, but we do have some new fun flares as well. So if you want to be able to mark the territory without causing too much attention, you can actually get out these glow sticks. So you could light your path without actually causing any disturbance. It's kind of the idea here. So you have a green and you have this darker or this lighter blue as well. And then for the actual glow sticks, or the actual flares, I apologize, you can actually put some of these down. So if you want to mark a dark area and actually say, you know, this is a specific dark area that you shouldn't go near this area, you can easily add a flare. It'll stick around throughout your entire play. So you can always circle back around and quickly find the location of that dark zone. Same with like the white flares. So, and I believe this is also due to the New Game Plus as well. So everybody watching, do know that this is not part of the standard gameplay. This is where the New Game Plus is kind of spawning in lots and lots of special infected with the mod. So say, for example, I wanted to return to this spot later and kind of identify the path I took, then you can easily, you know, mark up your pathways and mark that information without causing too much disturbance, such as adding the UV flares. Let's go ahead and show you the blue as well. So we have two more. We have the green and we also have the blue. Looks like one of those colors got messed up there. Don't worry, I'll get that hot fixed out. Not that it really makes too much of a difference, but I'll make sure to get that hot fixed here soon. But that is pretty much it for now. I wanted to get you guys this quick update. As you can see right there, we do still have one invisible zombie who's been giving me trouble. So I do need to switch back from feature development and just start crawling through the zombie files again. Just so you're aware, it's over 700, it's around 834 different zombie models. And so I have to go one by one through those and spawn them into the world to find that invisible zombie. On top of that, actually using like the player sense to actually detect if one spawns. It's actually a very painful process. So I apologize that that hasn't happened yet. I've been trying to get these updates out. So this is a bit of a change on the roadmap, just so you guys are aware. The roadmap is continuing to evolve as I get hours to be able to commit to the different features. And there are a couple of features such as the faction overhaul, the bandit overhaul that I've been working on for a long period of time. Same with the survival traits and hunger, thirst, all those good things. I'm still continuing to look into those and work on those slowly, but it's something that takes a long time to balance. And so because of that, I just ask you to bear with me. The roadmap will continue to change and update, but I promise you that new updates will continuously roll out each month. It just may shift around a little bit, so that way we can make sure we get the best quality content and all the testing I need actually happens before we get those releases out. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you guys for your support. Huge shout out to the Patreon supporters. So I do have some additional content coming along with the updates coming soon that will also say thank you to the Patreon supporters, and look forward to continuing to get your guys' feedback on this. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the new weapon changes and the new throwing weapons. Please keep me posted on what your thoughts are here. I do have the ability to basically change around some of the abilities as far as how the weapons are being thrown, but sadly the biggest thing is how the animations actually change with the throwing weapons. So I was able to get a pretty responsive system to allow the player to be able to get kind of a thrown weapon approach where it really feels like you're dialing back that weapon and then throwing it. And I like the oomph that kind of comes with that. But with that, a lot of these things are limited by the amount of things that can happen due to the animation systems that are already coded into the game. And so I'm going to continue to look for options, but please let me know what your thoughts are here. I'm very excited that I was able to get this into the system pretty quickly. And so, like I said, keep me posted on what your thoughts are. I look forward to your feedback, and thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Happy gaming.